Thanks a lot. So first of all, I would like to thank the organizer. I'm really glad to present this joint work with Sergei Guriev and Emeric Henry from Sciences Po and Katia Soratskaya from Paris School of Economics. So I'm Theo Marquis. I'm a postdoctoral researcher at Sciences Po, and today I will present this paper we worked on during last year, Counterning False News, Implying Truth. So the main objective of this paper is to compare different policies that already exist or have been discussed by researchers to reduce misinformation on social media. So compare them, see also the effect on the sharing of true news, and also go little bit beyond that and see which mechanism are taking place into the sharing decision on social media. So the main motivation of this paper is that political disinformation on social media is widespread. We already saw, for example, during the 2016 and 2020 US presidential election, a lot of issues, and it is potential a major social and political issue. Why? Because a large and growing share of the global population use social media as a source of news, and that false news can be highly persuasive, but most for positively predisposed people. So this widespread of false information, of misinformation on social media raise concern because it can potentially distort political outcome. So during election, so it has been shown that it can instigate hate crimes, especially, for example, during COVID crisis. Hate crimes toward the Asian community uh, w- uh, were due to social media and the spread of misinformation toward Asian communities, and also can contribute to systemic health crises. We saw that potential misinformation had reduced COVID vaccine vaccination. So what we do in this paper, we compare the impact of different short-term policies that already have been studied, but never really into the same context, and both on the sharing of true and their effect both on the sharing of true and false news on social media. So the different shorter policies, I will speak about them later during the presentation, but there is a fact-checking, implementation of some nudges, or to add friction, for example, extra click to confirm that you share content on social media. So using an experiment, it allows us to rank the various intervention depending on their efficiency, both on the reduction of fake news, false information, and their effect also on true news. Because if you reduce the sharing overall of true and false, this is not really as useful as if, for example, a policy can reduce misinformation, but also increase the share of mainstream or true information on social media. Then, using a structural model, we identify the mechanism behind the effect of each treatment. Because with this model, we identify three motives that are taking place into the sharing decision. So there is a persuasion motive, a reputational motive, and a signaling partisanship motive that I will also detail later. Then with the structural model, we can run some counterfactuals where we only allow some mechanism to occur. So, for example, only the change in the perception of the veracity of the content, only allowing the increase in cost of sharing or other. And we can also simulating some digital literacy training, so increase the share of the population that can distinguish perfectly the veracity of content. And well, I will detail later the effects. So to do that, we run an experiment on a bit more than 3,500 American Twitter users. We did that during, just before, so during the campaign for the US midterms election of 2 years ago now, October 2022. And one particular reality of our settings is that we allow our users to take a real sharing decision on Twitter. At the end of the experiment, they could really share the content we provide them on Twitter. So then the experiment goes as follow. We had some pre-treatment characteristic collected, so really simple, who they voted for, what are their demographics, etc. And also some attentions checked. Then participant view political content available on Twitter randomly. So there were 4 different, in a random order, there were 4 different content that I will show you next slide. Then the treatment occur. So we have 4 treatment and a control group. And then, after the treatment was implemented, participants could decide to share the content on Twitter. Then, after this sharing decision, participants had to evaluate the content they were offered to share in terms of veracity and political alignment. This is true for all treatment except one, where this evaluation of the content occurs just before the sharing decision. So this is the content that were displayed to our participants. So we have 2 type of true content and 2 false content. So these are our 2 true tweets. So one about cultural subject, and one about economic subject. So those tweets were from liberal and conservative mainstream media, because yeah, maybe I didn't present this. I thought maybe I didn't have the time, but those content were displayed on a Twitter account that we had created, and that was retweeting political related content for more than 2 months before the start of the experiment. So those were content that were already selected by our algorithm. So on the left, you can see our true cultural content that come from a Republican media, so that Florida school order to provide bathrooms separated by biological sex, and one was provided by a Democratic media that the Biden administration has opened the application process for Americans seeking student debt relief. So those were shared by 7% of our sample under the no policy, so the control treatment, and the other by 23%. Then our false tweets or false content that are about misinformation was those 2 one. So those 2 stories were fact-checked by PolitiFact and rated as false. We use the picture or the media used by PolitiFact to illustrate the content, and then we were publishing these tweets on our Twitter account. So the false tweet about the cultural subject was that Supreme Court just voted to ban condoms. That was shared by 11% of the participants under the no policy treatment, and the one about the the economic subject was that Biden is hiding more IRS agent to investigate your taxes than we have detective investigating every crimes in the country, and that was shared by 17% under the no policy treatment. So participants view those content randomly and sequentially. They had the opportunity, if they wanted, to click to go straight on the Twitter account and to see on Twitter the content. So then to detail the treatment. So participants were randomly assigned into five treatment groups. So the no policy is a control group. There was only the sharing decision to take. The require extra click was adding an additional screen and then an additional click to confirm the content that you wanted to share. The prime fake news circulation is the nudge treatment that simply add a screen with the following sentence: please think carefully before you retweet. Remember that there are a lot of false news circulating on social media. We use wording similar to Pennycook and Around when they were detailing this kind of intervention. The following treatment is the offer fact-checked. So we were displaying information that the false tweet had been fact-checked, and we offer also the opportunity to participants to see the detail of the fact-check and also to go directly on the PolitiFact to see more in detail the fact-checked. And then the last treatment is ask to assess content before sharing treatment. So it's the same as the no policy, so the control group. The only exception is that participant has to evaluate the tweets in terms of veracity and political alignment before taking the sharing decision. So to illustrate what I was telling you, so this is the screen of the sharing decision. Once they viewed the content in the no policy treatment, at least they had directly this sharing decision screen. So if they wanted to share any of the content, if they click on one, then they had a button that lead them directly on Twitter. And if they were already logged in, just need to confirm on Twitter that they wanted to retweet. And if they don't want to retweet anything, they had the opportunity, no, I don't want to retweet. So for the prime fake news circulation, so the nudge intervention, there was only this screen displayed before the sharing decision screen with this sentence that I told you about before. So please think carefully before we tweet. Remember that there are a lot of false news circulating on social media. The offer fact check treatment was displayed like that. So before the sharing decision, we gave the information that some of these tweets, fact-checking of the content has been done by PolitiFact, an independent fact checker. You can select the fact check you want to see. You can also choose to view none of all. So they have the opportunity only to see one, the two, or none. You have the descriptive statistic on how many choose to see which one. And then the ask to assess tweet, it was before the sharing decision. So after viewing the political content, they had to rate the veracity of the content and to rate the partisanship of the content. So yeah, guess the probability that the tweet is true, and for the partisanship of the content on the scale from 1 to 5. And for half the sample, it was reverse from a scale of 1 to 5. Do you think the tweet, if true, favors more Democrats or Republican, or Democrats or Republican? But then we all of these were normalized. So all responses were incentivized, and all other participants did evaluation after the sharing decision. So what we can say about how a participant assess the content is that we have figures that pretty much follow what has been found in the literature. So participants are good at differentiating true from false content. We have similar result as Angelucci and Pratt that are doing it only for headlines. In their paper, Is Journalism Truth Dead? So yeah, about 76% of the people guess have a good order on which tweets are true and which tweets are false. So you can see that on average, people only rate the false tweet as a 36% probability to be true, and 77% for the true tweets to be true. And they are also good at assessing partisan leaning for true tweets. Yeah, they guess that the Republican media were favoring Republican, and the same is true for the Democratic true tweets. So the result from the experiment, so the reduced form result that are pretty straightforward, is this effect of each treatment on the sharing of both false and true news. So under the no policies of the control group, 28% of the sample choose to share fake news, and 30% choose to share true news. We can see that for false tweets, every treatment have a negative effect on the sharing of false tweets. It's not that significant for the require extra click, but for all other treatment, it's pretty significant and pretty much the same effect. It's really, between minus 11.5 point of percentages to minus 14. And what is interesting also is for the sharing of true tweets, we see no effect from the require extra click treatment, but a negative effect from the offer fact check treatment, and a small but negative effect from the ask to assess tweet. What is really interesting for policymakers, for example, if they don't want to reduce the overall sharing on the platform, is that the prime fake news circulation do increase the sharing of true tweets. And what was interesting in the first place is that also reduce the share of misinformation on the platform. So then we want to disentangle the effect. So why the treatment have this effect on the sharing? So we use a nested logit model. So in the upper nest, participants take either the decision to share or not the content. So they can choose to not share or to share. Then for each alternative, inclusive, we compute the conditional probability to share that depend on the inclusive utility. So the utility each participant have from sharing each content. So it will depend on the nu and pi. Nu is the veracity of the content, and pi is the political alignment of the content. That depend also on the political alignment of the individual, and also on the interaction of both the veracity and the political alignment. And then we have the treatment can have an influence on this sharing decision, this sharing decision tree, through three channel. Either the updating channel, so the treatment change your belief on the content of the characteristic of the contents. For example, you will think once you saw the fact check that the false content is indeed fake, and then you change your belief about the veracity. Then the second channel, it can it can influence the sharing decisions is through, it's what we call salience. So it will change the weight you put either on veracity, on political alignment, or the combination on both. So it will change the different alpha 1, alpha 2, and alpha 3. And then there is this friction channel that will the treatment may increase the cost to share. So then it will take place between the upper nest and the lower nest. If it's too costly to share, even if you can have a high inclusive utility to share, you may decide not to share because the cost became too high. For example, the fact-checking, in the fact-checking treatment, you have a lot of information. You have about which content have been fact-checked. Then you have to be to think about why, etc., etc. So then, just to recap, the impact of the treatment. So it can go through these three different channels. So the updating effect that changes the estimate of the veracity and the political alignment. The salience effect change the weight of the different motive in the utility function. So the motive about reputation, persuasion, and signaling partisanship that are a function of alphas that I will show next slide. And treatment can also increase the cost of sharing. So overall friction, rise from fighting or time, etc. So in the structural analysis, we deriving from the model, we identify three models to share news. So the partisan persuasion payoff, that is the utility you get from influencing action of a receiver when you are the person that share content on social media. Then the partisan signaling payoff, the utility you get from being perceived either as a Republican or Democrat, and the reputation payoff, the utility you get from perceived as informed, that only depend uh, on veracity. So for one. So I told you that the treatment can have an effect through three different channels. So to see the first channel, the updating effect, is there a difference on how you evaluate content if you were treated by the require extract leaks, the for fact check treatment, etc. We can see that for veracity, yes, there is an effect. People in the prime fake news circulation and the offer fact check treatment have a lower estimation of veracity for false content, not that much for true content. And for alignment, there is a small and significant, but really small effect also from false tweet. They think that the content is less aligned with themselves. So this was for the updating channel. For the salience effect of the treatment and the change in the weight you put in your sharing decision, the weight you put on different motive, we can see this effect in this table. That is how veracity, alignment, and the combination of both increase your utility depending on the treatment. So you can see for the no policy treatment, veracity and the combination of both are as important as are important, sorry. Then it's it's the relative weight that is important, and then you can see the shift is that each treatment will increase the utility you get when the content is more true. So you can see that the prime fake news in the prime fake news treatment, participant get twice as much utility from veracity than in the no policy group, and get less utility when content is only aligned but not true uh, with themselves. No, sorry. Then to illustrate this table, we have this figure that shows the relative weight of each motive relative to another one. So you can see that there is no change depending on the treatment of the relative weight for signaling partisanship and persuasion partisanship. But you can see that the treatment increase the relative weight of reputation relative to persuasion for almost all treatment, not really for the ask to assess tweet treatment, but this is why we have a positive effect on the sharing of true news for the prime fake news circulation. Then the cost effect of the treatment we can see on this table is that the require extra click and the prime fake news circulation do not really increase the cost. You can see that there is no effect on the upper nest, whereas the offer fact check and the ask to assess tweet, which has the more cognitive charge treatment, because there is a lot of information to process, are the one that reducing your probability to share, which explain the negative effect for ask to assess tweet and offer fact check on the sharing of true news. So when we decompose the average treatment effect into this free channel, we can see this effect that what we call the positive effect of the prime fake news circulation, which mean a reduction of the misinformation and an increase of the sharing of true information, is mainly due to the silence channel, and that the cost of sharing channel really explain the decrease of misinformation sharing for the offer fact check, and then also decrease the sharing for true news. Then we just ran, but it's more detailed in the paper, a digital literacy increase. So what we had in our sample is the baseline of what we call perfectly informed user is 4%. So it's participant that perfectly identified the content true with a 100% rating, and the content false with a 0% rating. And we see that if we increase this share of perfectly informed user, we see a reduction of the sharing of false news and an increase in the share of the sharing of true news, but that are not really due to the fact that people now know with certainty that the content is true or false when they take the sharing decision, but the fact that more and more people are informed among their audience. It's really this what we call receiver reaction channel that are taking place into this change in the sharing of true and false news. So yeah, just to conclude really briefly, is that this short-term information can be implemented with this digital literacy training, we think, because they do not really rely on the same stuff, and just that the priming fake news circulation is a policy to favor, but maybe because it's also easy to implement, but do not reduce the overall sharing. If we have perfectly split between false and true news on social media. But it's unclear if it can be scaled, and if a user cannot be will still be influenced by this nudge if it's implemented regularly. So this is it. Thank you very much for your attention.